Hello Year 9 students. This video is designed to help you with the actual entering in of your subject selections. It is not a video to explain what the subjects are or what would be the best choices for you. It is simply to show you the process of entering those selections in once you have made your decisions. So please refer to the subject selection guide for information about each subject. Make sure you've discussed these with your parents and possibly teachers if need be. And once you have made those choices, you're ready to now enter them in according to the instructions here. So the first thing you will need is the email that was sent to you. It will be entitled CRCNK Year 9 into 10 2022 Elective Preferences, and it will have come from a school email address called Learning Pathways. Once you have that email and you've got your selection choices ready, you need to come down here to this link, which is your unique link to get straight into the preferencing system. If for some reason you don't want to do it that way, you can click on this next link here, which will take you to the login, but you'll then have to put this access code and password in exactly as shown for you to get access to the system. So it is much easier just to click on this link here. Once you have loaded the page, it should look like this. We have no preferences made, and what we can now do is add in a new set of preferences by clicking that green button. There are some instructions, but they're fairly straightforward. Really what they come down to is every section, so that's every grey box here, has to be completed, and it also indicates that any one of these lines with an exclamation mark next to it has to have a value. So we'll have to choose our mathematics, we'll have to choose 6 non-Wednesday electives, we'll have to choose 8 Wednesday electives. You have to put an indication for VCE at North Keilor, also for VET, work placement and distant education, but we'll see more of those in just a second. What you can see is that while these are not correctly filled in, the proceed button at the bottom is not available. So let's go back to the top. First thing you'll need to do is choose which mathematics is most appropriate for you. I'm obviously just choosing random things in this video. Then we'll choose our non-Wednesday electives. So again, going through. Now it's very important that when you're choosing electives in any given block, you do not have the same thing twice. I'm going to deliberately choose music twice here for demonstration purposes. So we'll keep going down. We can see the exclamation marks leaving as we go. Let's choose our Wednesday electives. Now I said you can't choose an elective more than once, and that's true in a block, so in a grey block, but some of the electives are offered both on Wednesdays and non-Wednesdays, so you are entitled to select them in 2 different blocks, but just not within the same block. I've got that one twice as well. Let's go with dance. When we get down to VCE at North Keilor, you can either choose from one of the VCEs available, or you can indicate that you are not interested in doing a VCE at North Keilor. So I'm going to choose one as an example. For the VCE or VET at Sydenham, you can either select that you are not interested at all, so that would be your first preference, and which means you can leave the second one blank. You'll notice it doesn't or didn't have a exclamation mark next to it. Or if you are interested in a VC or VET from Sydenham, you can choose up to 2 different ones. So if you don't get your first, it's possible they might offer you your second. So you only have to enter one item here, the first line, which has to be either a VC or VET, or the not interested option from the bottom, and then you can leave the second one blank if you don't want to choose it at all, if you're not interested, or you can obviously choose 2 options there. For work placement, again, you can either indicate that you are interested in discussing a work placement or you are not interested. And the same for distance education. You can indicate that you are interested in that discussion or not interested. I'm going to choose interested just for something different here. So once I've selected everything, you can see there are no exclamation marks left on the side. So I have filled something into every required field, but I am getting an error, and also my proceed button is still not visible. And that error is what I mentioned earlier, that I chose the subject music more than once. So I need to find where that's happened, and I see it's here where I've chosen music in the same block more than once. So let's just change one of those to something else. And now you'll see my proceed button is green. So what I want to do before I continue is have one more good look at this to make sure that I haven't made any mistakes, that matches what I've chosen, and press proceed. You'll get one more opportunity to see all of your choices. Now don't worry that these say preference 1 through 19 is just literally the order they are on the screen. We obviously know that the first preference was to do with maths, the next 6 were to do with your non-Wednesday, then your Wednesday, VET, VCE, etc. So don't worry about this numbering here on the left hand side, but do make sure that you have all the right things listed. After that, you need to provide a signature. So you can use a mouse, or if you happen to be using some sort of touch device, you can do a squiggle of your signature. You can just choose type and type your name. And it comes up sort of like handwriting. Or if you happen to have an image of your signature for some reason, you can choose to upload it. But the point is you're putting something here to indicate to us that you did in fact do this properly and it was used. So I'm just going to put a pretend squiggle there for a second, and you'll save your signature. The next step is asking for your parents' email address. Now, it's very important that your parents do get this email and that they actually get an opportunity to click on the link that's provided and also see your choices and provide their own signature next to it. While technically speaking, choices are not necessarily invalid if there's no parent signature, it certainly makes it much more easy to understand it, and if we have to have discussions with parents about your choices, that they have in fact seen these first. So we would really like all students to make sure one parent at least gets this email. At this point, you need to put your parent email in, and you can click the plus button to add another email address if you'd like to send it to both parents, but we only really require one. And once you're happy with that, you can press OK. And you'll get a final listing of your entries. You'll see your signature there, and you'll also see that the email was sent to your parent at the address that you provided. Once you've done that, you can simply return to the home page. Now, when you do return to the home page, or if you were to log back into this site, you will now see that there is in fact a preference receipt, and the add preferences is now grayed out. You can at any stage click on this current receipt to see your preferences again that you have put in the system, but you're not able to change them. So if you realize you have made a mistake, or you decide you would like to make a change before the closing date for these preferences, it's very important that you contact me through that Pathways email requesting for those preferences to be deleted. Now, they will be fully deleted, so you'll have to put them all in again, and it would also have to be done by the official due date for all preferences to be in. So make sure that you're as careful as you can be, and if you do need things to be changed, that you ask as soon as possible so that you'll have time to redo your preferences. And that is the process for entering in your preferences. Again, make sure you have fully discussed your choices with your parents and you have a clear understanding of what the preferences are, and then go through these steps to enter them directly into the preferencing website.